now. And there we go. Okay, good morning. Once again, if I could just do a real quick sound check. You guys hear me okay? Because I got a little message up here that says something about my audio. If you don't mind typing that into the chat. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, Dale. Appreciate it. Okay. Welcome to our webinar here. We call it How to Use Mobile Apps to Get 10 Times Better Results in Your Business, better reach, better impact, and more income. My name is Robert Evans. I am co-founder of a app development company and digital marketing company called App Bros Design. The reason why it's called App Bros is because my brother and I are partners in this this company. I am the kind of the person behind the marketing, and my brother is and I'm the architect of the app, and my brother is the app technology that we built, and my brother is the actual app developer. So thank you for taking the time to be here today. I've got a bunch to share with you and a bunch to show you. In regards to mobile apps and how they can be used, a branded mobile app for your business, how it can be used to generate a lot more results in your business. Results from connection to impact to engagement to and ultimately sales. So I'm gonna dive in here. I'm gonna take about 20 minutes or so to talk about why apps and why now. And then I'm going to bring up my phone and actually start to show you some elements of apps that covers what I've discussed here and the platform that we built called the Expert App Platform. So essentially what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to give you 6 ways a branded mobile app, meaning an app that's specifically been launched for your business, is better than every other marketing platform out there today, and how that leads to how your app can lead to you getting 10 times better results in your business. And when I'm talking about other marketing platforms out there, I am referring to things like email marketing, websites, social media, a lot of the typical things that people do that drives people to a website and it prays that they opt in and engage in your content. And so those are the type of things that we're comparing to today with if you have your own mobile app and what you could do with a properly designed and launched app for your business. So here's the thing about mobile apps. As consumers, we're all familiar with mobile apps. We probably have dozens, or in some cases hundreds of apps that are on our phones, or iPhones or Android phones. And the thing about apps as consumers, we know that they're there. We've been playing with them for years. We spend more time on our phone than any other platform out there. On average, the amount of time that people engage on their smartphones, which means they touch it and engage there, is 4+ hours a day is the average for the most smartphone consumers. The thing that a lot of people don't understand is that when it comes to the apps that are on people's phones, that time that they're spending on their phone, 90% of that time is spent inside of apps, as opposed to opening up the browser and going to different places in the browser. The apps engage in browsers and send people to websites and that sort of thing, but the bulk amount of time is happening in that engagement on the phone inside of apps. And that's the social media apps, the YouTube apps, the apps that on topics that we're interested in and we're passionate about, that sort of thing. And the other thing about mobile phones, smartphones specifically, is that there are more smartphones in the world now than there are computers. And a really quick story to have a personal attestament to that is even just about 5 years ago, I was traveling around the world for my other business, taking people to different parts of the world. And we went to Liberia, Africa. And here's a great example of what the reach that smartphones have in the world. We were in Liberia, Africa, which is a very, it's a struggling country, very poor. And we went out to some really outer villages, outer towns to deliver water filters to some of the villages that are near those towns. And we went into the town and we were talking to the people that were in the town, and we were asking about, internet and, their connection to the world. And they said that that town and all that served all the villages around them had one computer with an internet connection that they all used and accessed in order to get out on the internet through an actual computer. And we thought that, well, that was fascinating, and that has a lot to do with cost and also internet access, that sort of thing. And so then we went to deliver these water filters to these villages, and I was struck by the fact that we had probably about a half a dozen different people walk up to different people within our group with their Android smartphones. No one had any iPhones. That was kind of untouchable for them, but with their Android smartphones asking for our Facebook profile, our Facebook name, so that they can actually connect with us via Facebook. So that really indicates where smartphones have gone in the world as a whole. And a lot of people don't know this, but when it comes to the number of smartphones out there in the two software platforms, iPhone and Android, 70% of the phones in the world, which is billions, are Android phones. And then the other 30% is iPhones. So when it comes to leveraging mobile apps, you have to be in both places, both platforms. You want one on an iPhone and you want one on on Android platform. And the thing about apps that a lot of people also don't know is that mobile apps are not like websites. You're not building pages and throwing pages up and that sort of thing that you can link things to. Although I mean you do it in a different way, because mobile apps are actually software that are installed either on an iPhone or an Android phone. So you're literally in launching an app, you're literally launching a software program in those two different worlds. And so the process of having those apps built and launched is very different than websites. And that is one of the reasons why, not that many businesses have done that, because of the understanding of how to do that, and then ultimately the cost, which we're gonna jump into here in a few minutes. But what I said is that I wanted to give you 6 ways or reasons why a branded mobile app is more effective than any other platform out there, and how that can ultimately translate into engagement and sales and better results in your business. Let's start with that list of 6. Okay, so I have been in the digital marketing world for 20 years, and I have built 3 different companies. Well, 2 different companies, 3 including the one right now, that relied on the internet and technology to reach people and connect with them, to serve them, and for me to generate revenue within my company. And in those companies that I built, going back 15 to 20 years ago, one of the things I was really good at was building an email list. And because I was able to build a large email list in both companies, the email list was over 100,000 people. Last one prior to this one was 130,000 people from all over the world. Because I had those lists, and because back then when you sent out an email, you would actually get pretty good open rates, pretty good clicks, and pretty decent engagement, to the point where it was worth spending the time to build that list and get it to a certain point. Now, 100,000 people on an email list was big, and it still is big. For a lot of people, if they get to 5,000 or 10,000, that's a huge milestone for them. So, so the reason why I bring this up is because that's still where a lot of people spend their time trying to build. Is let's build that list. Let's get as many people on our list as we can. If we can hit 5,000, if we can hit 10,000, great. The challenge is that today is a very different time in the marketing, engagement of for email marketing, meaning that back when I had these lists of 130,000 people. When I send out an email, I would get a 60, 70% open rate. I would get a, 20, 25, 30% click of that open rate. So I could turn my emails into engagement and into revenue for my business. That's definitely not how it is today. And the big reason is, one, everybody's in the digital marketing space trying to do the same thing, build a list and market to that list, which means we are saturated with email promotions and that sort of thing. And the second reason is that oh my gosh, I just drew a blank here. Yeah, list and yeah. So let's move on. Real super brain, freeze right there. So that's one of the biggest reasons. It's so crowded in this space, so saturated. Oh, I know what the second reason was. Second reason is that people don't have the time to read the long emails that are sent out nowadays. I get constantly in my business when I send out emails, which I tend to write detailed emails. I constantly get complaints, even from my direct clients, of you not having time to read all the emails that I've got. So let's start with this first thing. The difference between having an app and using the platform of a mobile app and using email marketing and an email list is that in the app space, the equivalent of sending out an email is sending out a push notification. And we're going to talk a lot more about push notifications because it's probably the most significant game-changing element of a mobile app for you as a business owner. The thing about an app and building a push list compared to a website and all these other things and building an email list is that with my app, I can actually build a significantly larger list a lot faster. So 100,000 people on my email list compared to 100,000 people on my push notification list, that push list is small potatoes compared to what it can and most likely will be. Even without real targeted marketing with an app to drive people to basically join your push notification list, even without that, your list will grow about 20 times faster than an email list will do. And you'll understand in a moment when I get to the engagement side of things. You'll understand why that's so true. So what I love about the app space, as far as my ability to be able to reach more people and have a greater impact because I'm able to because I am reaching more people and because they're engaging more in this space than they would anywhere else. What I love is that I see my list now going from, the 15,000 that we're at right now to 50,000 to 100,000 to hundreds of thousands of people. If it leverages and does the right thing, that hits the right, vein of interest in people that download your app, that share your app, and ultimately you build a huge platform for yourself. So the list build potential of a push notification list compared to an email list is so much greater in the app space than it is in any of these other spaces out there. And by the way, the other spaces like websites and social media are things like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube being subscribers, obviously Instagram, Twitter and Facebook are users or people or friends or whatever. Those are their equivalent of lists, but those people ultimately are not on a list that you really get to have the right kind of control to get them to do things with you, because those social media platforms, even though you can build something big, and I think probably the greatest potential in comparison of social media to mobile apps is YouTube and subscribers on YouTube. That's the one that I think if you were to spend time on, that's the one that you're going to get the best results. But all the others, including YouTube, the challenge with people being a part of that, your friends or your following or your subscriber list, is that that you're just one little tiny little cog in the big wheel of that social media distraction that happens. They jump on, they might be your friend on Facebook and they might see your post, but then they're off, they're gone like 3 seconds later, looking down and being distracted by 100 other things that are going on. Same with YouTube and that sort of thing. That although YouTube, I think, has the greatest potential. Twitter is just a cesspool of God knows what's going on over there. Personal opinion. These are some of my feelings on social media. But so those lists are not the same as an email list, and an email list is not the same as a push notification list, for a few different reasons that I'm going to talk about now. So that's number one. One of the ways why a branded app is so much better than the other marketing platforms is your ability to build an effective, larger list, a push notification list. There's nothing that comes close to it. And this is the reason why, which is number two. Number two is for why a mobile app is so much better than the other platforms is engagement. Engagement is the holy grail. This is the ultimate for us as digital marketers, entrepreneurs, experts, or whatever, to get people to, be a part of our world in some way, either as a client or, buying products or attending events or whatever it is that you got going on. Engagement is the name of the game. And engagement with an email list is when a person opens your email, clicks on your link, and goes to the place you want them to go to see what you want them to see. That's engagement. Engagement in social media is they see your post on Facebook and there's a link in the post and they click on that and then they're engaging. In the YouTube world, they get a notice, or they scrolling through their YouTube list of videos and people channels that they subscribe to. They see your video and they click on it and play it. That's engagement. In the app world, they see your push notification and they touch that. They tap that. It opens up your app. It goes to the place you want them to go. That's engagement. So let's talk about that real quick. Again, there are three metrics that we look at when it comes to building in any kind of list or community of people that you want to engage with. Number one is they have to first opt in. They have to choose to be a part of your Facebook world, your email list. They have to opt in there or subscribe to your channel or whatever it is that they do. So they have to opt in. So let's focus primarily on email marketing right now, how it compares in engagement to push notification marketing, because email is usually the thing that everybody's still striving towards making bigger, their list bigger. So when you look at the average stats of email marketing, opt-in, open, and clicks, those are the three metrics that we want to look at here. And the same with push notifications, opt-in to that list, opens, and click, or in engagement, essentially. With the email marketing, the average for businesses that have opt-in options, forms on their website, or call to actions, download my ebook, or take this survey, or whatever, the average is between 0.5% to, on the higher end for a lot of people or some people, 5%. So let's just go with the high end here. That means if I send 100 people to my website, 5 out of 100 people will opt into my email list. Those are the numbers that most people are working with today. Are there exceptions to that? Yes, absolutely. It all depends on how targeted that is, that offer is, what that offer is. You could see higher than that. You could see 10%, 20%. Rarely you see higher than that, because still people don't want to be on another list. And they know that if they're going to put in their name and their email address, they're going to be on a list. So opt-in is that on, industry average, 0.5% to 5%. In the push notification world, so they have to get to your website, or they have to go to the place that you ultimately invite them to go to. In the push notification world, when they download your app, like going to your website, but they click to download your app, when they open the app, they're presented with the opportunity in iPhone to opt in. And you typically with Android phones, it's an automatic, unless they change their settings in their phone, which most people don't. But The average between the two platforms, when you compare the two of choosing to opt in or auto opting in, is 80%. So this is where it starts to get really exciting, folks, and why apps become such a huge game changer for us as experts. 80% of people that open that app will opt into your list. They'll accept receiving notifications from you. So if I sent 100 people to download my app, they download that app, 80 out of the 100 on average, and we see this consistently in our business and our clients' apps will opt into that list, 80 out of 100. So immediately we're getting significantly better results in building our list to be bigger, and the potential of reaching more people, the impact that we're going to be able to have because it's immediately happening. So our energy of driving people to our world to learn about us and want things from us, we drive them into the app, and that means our list is going to grow a lot faster. And then next is, now you got the list. So let's say between the two worlds, I've built 100 over here, 100 people on my push list and 100 people on my email list. The next thing you do is you send out that message to them. In email, it's usually multi-paragraph, emails. How many of you actually get short emails from people nowadays? I don't even send short emails, and a lot of my clients can attest to that. Because we tend to want to, give them a reason to do something. So, you got a, 2, 3, 4, 5 or longer paragraph email that people know that they're going to have to open and read in order to understand why the heck are you sending this to me? And of course, your subject line is going to be a factor in that. That's all part of the strategy of email marketing. So that's one thing. You send that email out, they've got to read it. It's usually a longer, than, couple minutes or process. And then they got to choose to click at that point. So in the industry average for email for open rates nowadays is around 20%. So if I send out an email to 100 people, 20 of those people will open it on average. Now let's go to push notifications. Again, the game-changing, reality of push notifications is you're not sending out long emails. What you are sending out is a precise call to action. It's like the subject, but a little bit more than a subject, a precise call to action. The truth is, we don't need to explain things in detail in our emails to get people to engage with this. We just need to give them that compelling, 2 or 3 sentence, message that says, this is what we've got. This is why we think you should click on it. And this, go here and get this benefit. That type of thing. So when you send out a push notification, it's a 1 sentence to 2 sentence at most, call to action. So you're calling them to tap that notification to engage. And so in the push notification world, the equivalent of opening of an email is people seeing that notification and reading it. And it's at 90%, folks. 90% is the average open seen rate of a push notification. So 100, you send a push notification out, 100 people, 90 of those people are going to see it, read it, and be making a decision as to whether or not they want to tap that and engage in what you're doing there. You massively increased your number of people that are most likely going to engage with you. And then that comes to the last part, the click or the tap, however you want to say it, the click on the email. Out of those 20% that open it, typically you'll see about 5 to 10% of those people, or between 0.5% to 1, 2, 3% overall of that list that was sent out. So when you send out those 100 emails, you will see between, let's say, 1 to a few, 5, maybe 10, if you're lucky, will actually click and engage. That's the whole reason you're sending it out, unless you're, updating them on something. But from a marketing perspective, which is what we're talking about here, you need to get them to engage. You need to get them to watch that video. You need to get them to check out this event that's coming up and to register for it, or to, set up a call with you, or whatever it is that you do. That's engagement. And that's the name of the game here. So going back to the push notification world, and this, by the way, this one thing, this one reality of comparison between these two different worlds is what convinced me myself 4 years ago to commit my business to the mobile app space. And I had no idea, no plan to start a mobile app business. Not at all. I was looking to just share my own message with more people and be more effective. So push notification, a click rate on the low end is 25% of that 90%, upwards as high as 60%. So I will typically see between, out of 100, instead of a few to 5 or whatever, I see between 20 to as many as 50 people that will actually click or tap, whatever, and open my app and engage in what I want. I'm sending them into my app to engage in, to watch that video, to learn about that event, to, register for, or this or that. So this alone is massively game changing for us as experts, authors, speakers, that sort of thing. So that's the second reason why branded mobile app is going to be more effective for you. Is you look at, let's get and look at the numbers. 90% open, 80% opt-in, 90% open, 25 to 60% click. And that means that you get to get more people to see what you're doing and to participate and sign up for whatever you got going on. The reason why also, and this is, now let's go to the third way branded mobile apps are changing the marketing space for us, is the reason why engagement is so high is for this third reason, and that is accessibility. These devices that we carry with us everywhere are with us all the time. We're checking our emails, we're, on social media, we're engaging in apps and information that we choose to do inside of our app. And we're touching that phone hours at a time during the day. Even if you don't do it, the great majority of people that do it, a lot of your clients will be doing that. So the accessibility factor is huge. It means that you get quicker and more frequent access to your potential clients or your existing clients. That is really important because, as the adage in marketing goes, you need 7 or more touches with a client, communications with them before they start to engage with you. That has actually gone up. So it's even more. I think it's like 10 to 14 times before someone will ultimately go, maybe I should do this. I've seen this enough. Maybe I should do it. But the problem is, if you rely on them opening the emails and going to your website or getting distracted inside of social media to see those things, then you don't get that consistency or that frequent access to those clients. So because it's in their hands, it's around them all the time. Accessibility is a major factor in why engagement and to ultimate conversion is such a factor in why mobile apps are the best platforms out there. That's the third reason. The fourth reason is that a properly designed mobile app that has the functionality and features that you want in an app for your business is going to immediately save you money every month in the hundreds of dollars. So when we shift our clients over from the web-based things that they're doing to the app-based things that our expert app is capable of doing, we can actually save our clients between $300 to $500 every month, because they don't need all these fragmented services. Like, I need a funnel over here, I need a e-course technology over here, I need a membership portal over here, I need my website doing all these things over here, and they're spending $100, $150, or $300, all that sort of thing, every month. So a properly designed app that has those things all built into it, it's centralized, is going to save a lot of money. Which brings me to my fifth reason why mobile apps are game changers for us. And that is, with that right app, everything is centralized. It's all in one place. All the elements of your business, your content, your support to your existing clients, all of your programs, viral marketing elements that get people to share the things that lead people to your app, or to share the app, or share the content that's in the app so that more people download the app. That's the viral elements that we always hope for and strive for as marketers. And even doing virtual events. I could take this webinar right now and embed it in my app and send a push notification to my list and say, hey, I'm going live with this webinar in 5 minutes. Click here, and they can open it up and watch this webinar in the app, right there in my app, all branded with my wrapper around it. So having the right kind of app centralizes everything, and that's what helps save you money every single month and give higher accessibility, or make your accessibility to your clients, and them, converting, or, potential clients, and then converting over to actual clients more likely. And then the sixth way a branded mobile app is massively important for making you more effective than any other platforms out there, is that it positions you in the marketplace in a very different light than everybody else that's doing all the same thing. It's literally having your own app, literally pulling you out of that crowded field, and it, puts you in a whole different light, because very, very few small businesses, experts, authors, speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs have their own app. And when you have your own app, you're playing in a different game and in a different place than everybody else. Everybody else is still trying to get everybody to go to their website, or to social media, or to a webinar, which we're doing right now, but still, in that webinar or on that social media, if you're saying, hey, download our app to get this, to access this, or they go from a physical book to your app because you can link that book into your app and give them extended content related to that book or other things, then once they download your app, you've got real estate on their phone, and you are in a different position than everybody else out there that's doing all the same thing. So positioning is really important, especially as more and more and more businesses and people are going into the digital field, and it's getting more and more crowded. You want to separate yourself out from that crowd and be different and unique, and have kind of a view of credibility about your business because you have this app. So these are the 6 reasons. Number 1, you can build a list a lot faster and bigger. Number 2, you get incredibly greater engagement from people opting in, to people opening or seeing your notification, and ultimately engaging and clicking or tapping on that and going to where you want to go. Number 3, accessibility. An app gives your world to your people a lot faster and more frequently, so they ultimately become your clients. Number 4, a good, properly designed app is going to save you hundreds of dollars every month. And that's because of number 5, because it centralizes everything that you want to do in the digital marketing space under one place, under one roof. Everything that you need to do in the right kind of app will be there. And number 6, it puts you in a different marketing positioning among your competitors and everybody else that's out there. So now let's get to this point of how does this ultimately generate 10 times better results for you? I mean, that probably pretty clear in some aspects of what I just shared. That's true. But before I do that, let me just share 2 things, because it's really important you understand that as mobile apps become more important and needed, which is really basically mobile apps are at that point now where websites used to be, where people are like, I think I need to get a website. I need to get a mobile app. That's going to become that important, as important, if not more important than websites and other things that are people using. But there are more companies that are coming out with the less effective options. And so I want to educate you on 2 aspects of mobile apps so that you can watch for these things when you see them out there. So let's look at 2 different types of mobile apps. There's dynamic mobile apps and there are static mobile apps. A static mobile app is an app that you launch on the App Store, a person downloads, they open it up, they see content in there, and that's it. They look at through all the content, they watch the videos or whatever, and when they're done, they're done. because it stays that way and it doesn't change. So after maybe 1 or 2 times that they open it and experience whatever's in there that's doesn't change, they're done. There's no reason for them to open it up again. So you don't get that kind of accessibility engagement that you want, because there's no, reason for them to open it again, because there's nothing fresh and new in there. Whereas a dynamic app is connected to a database, so that you could add a video, an article, a live stream feed or whatever to the app and instantly have it available to your users of your app. And so it's constantly changing. So there is a reason for people to be able to open that app up, because it's new and fresh, and you can do all the things that you need to do. So you want a dynamic app. You do not want a static app. In fact, I'll go as far to say a static app can, even if it's the cheap versions, which we'll get to the next here, is a total waste of money. Okay. Unless it's very, very strategic and you're delivering a course or whatever. And but it's not advised to do that. Get a dynamic app connected to a database, so it's constantly changing. That then brings us to the second types of apps out there. Platform are either template apps, platform apps, or custom apps. Let's talk about those 3. A template app, which is the cheap ones that you see out there, sign up for $150 and $50 a month or whatever, are usually software driven built apps where you log into an account and you drag and drop over the header over here, and you want the image to go here and that sort of thing, and then you hit all the magic buttons and it creates the app, and then you have to launch it on the app stores. There's no automatic way of actually launching it on the app stores. It's not like uploading it to a website. It's a little bit different. But the problem with template apps is Apple and Android don't like them, so they reject a lot of them, and they don't look good, and they're not a good user experience from how they look, how they function, and all the different elements that will make them a good, effective app. Now, then you look at custom apps. Custom apps, they're perfect because you are customizing it. You're having an app developer say, you go, do this for me. I want it to do this. I want it to be dynamic, and I want it to have all these elements to it and that sort of thing. That's great. Custom app is perfect. It's not template driven. It's hand built. It's, hand created and ultimately submitted to the App Store to ensure that your app will be approved and will be effective. But the biggest challenge is that's incredibly expensive and time consuming. On average, you're talking about tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars for a custom app, and 6 months to a year to develop it. Then that brings in platform apps. A platform app is identical to a custom app, but it's built the same way. It's not generated by software, drag and drop, where the user has to do that, but it's a platform where it has all these features already built into it. Everything's all built into it. And the way that it's built and launched on the App Store is exactly the same way as a custom app, except for it doesn't take 6 months or a year because it's already there. And what you're doing is you're putting your brand around that, and you're launching it with everything that you really want and need, hopefully, if you're getting the right kind of platform app. So what you want to save money and to have something that's effective is a dynamic platform branded mobile app for your business. Now, let's look at that. Let's say that does exist. That dynamic, platform branded app exists. How does that app, with the things that we talked about, the ways that apps are changing the game for us, how does that translate ultimately into better results? Let's just look at this scenario alone so that you can understand the potential here. So let's go back to that email marketing, push notification marketing reality of the 2 different worlds. When you take those numbers that I shared earlier and you compute them, meaning that if you have a list that's this size, an email list of this size, and a push notification this size, and you take those open rates and click rates and that sort of thing, you compute them, this is how it ultimately translates for you. Let's say that you have an email list of 10,000 people and you only have a push notification list of 1,000 people. When you compute the numbers on average of open, and click rates, a 10,000 person email list will usually see about 100 person engagement, meaning out of that 10,000, 100 people will actually click on that email and engage in what you've got going on. And so you've got to now take those 100 people out of 10,000 and try to get them to do something with you. Now, if we compare that to the numbers on a push notification list and only having 1,000 people on your list, the numbers that computes to is that you go from 100 people on the 10, 100 people, you go to 200 people. So 1,000 person push list will give you twice the amount of engagement than a 10,000 person email list. Now, let's compare that side to side, a 10,000 person email list and a 10,000 person push list, which should be easier for you to build than an email list of that same size because of the things that we talked about earlier. And now you've got 10 times up to 20 times greater engagement when you equal them out. You got 1,000 people that are engaged, or 2,000 to 2,000 people that are engaging with you as compared to 100. It's ridiculous what happens when you compare these two different worlds together. So when you look at all this, that and all the other things that we talked about, which gives more compelling reason as why a mobile app is better than any of the other platforms out there that everybody is using nowadays. When you look at that, why we ask the question, why aren't more businesses using mobile apps? And there are 3 reasons. Number one, they're not aware that this is the reality of apps as a marketing tool in their business compared to all the other things that they're currently doing. They're off in this other direction, and there's this much more beautiful mountain range and crystal clear lake that you can jump into, whereas it's all crowded and polluted and all that sort of thing over here. That's my analogy there. Over here, the app world is so much better, but they don't know it's there because they're too busy trying to compete in that crowded space. So that's number one. They're not aware of it. And that's what I'm hoping that I can make you aware of today in this call, at the very least, so you can put this on your radar to do at some point in your business, because you're going to have to at some point. Second reason is that they don't know what to do with an app when they get one. How do I then get people to download my app? How do I use my app to make money and deliver content and build a membership and create e-courses and all these different things that hopefully that app does for you? So they go at it alone, because these static template apps that you spend $150 for, all they do is sign you up and you take your money and you're on your own. They're not training you. They're not teaching you. They're not bringing you into a community and networking with you with other leaders and other experts, which is critical nowadays with any digital marketing company to offer that level of support. And then, of course, the biggest reason why most small businesses are not using mobile apps is the upfront cost to build a custom app and the monthly costs that typically go along with that. It is way out of reach for small businesses. And how do I know that? Because 4 years ago, when I decided that I was going to move my personal message into the app space, I architected out the app that I wanted, that did all these things that I wanted to do: courses, membership, live streaming, viral marketing, all the things that we've been talking about here. And I went out and got price quotes from 5 app developers. And the lowest price I got back to build that app was $70,000, and it went upwards to $130,000. And those prices haven't gone really down that much, to be honest with you, in 4 years. So that is no, I couldn't afford $70,000. And I would say, 99.9% of the small businesses out there, no way they could touch that. That's why it's not in their space for them to be able to really use this. So when I came across that price, I realized I had an opportunity here. One, get my own app. And ultimately I was able to partner up with my brother, who is an app developer, but he was getting paid a lot of money working for a corporation. But luckily he was unhappy in that job. So I convinced him to quit that job and start this business with me, because I wanted my own app and I wanted to be able to solve this problem for all of you other experts that are out there. And what we did is 4 years ago, we took a year to develop a platform called the Expert App Platform that is designed to provide all of what I've talked about here and generate these kind of results and save you a ton of money and really disrupt not only the typical marketing world, but also to disrupt the app development world, where app developers are making a ton of money and charging a lot of money every month, and people are paying it because they don't have any other options until now. And so with all your permission, I'd like to show you the Expert app and how it does all of these things, and then answer any questions that you guys might have about apps in general or this app. So I'm going to share my screen on my phone. There we go. All right. All right. For some reason, it is disappearing on my phone. Okay. So when I'm opening up, this is our Expert app. Actually, I'll open it up fresh here just to show you the process of opening it. When I open up, oh wait, I think are you guys seeing my my phone screen right now? No, it froze. Hold on one second, folks. Sorry about this. Yeah, technology here. Okay. All right. For some reason, I am stuck in a loop here. Let me see if I can remove host. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. Share my screen. Okay. I actually figured out a better way of doing this, which in a couple of days we're going to be able to do so that we don't have to do this share screen. So when I open up this app, the Expert app, this is again a dynamic app. So show you how that works is that when I go from one screen to the next, you see that little twirly thing in the middle there. That is actually grabbing for this screen what's in the database. So if I wanted to change the feature article, I could literally go in there right now into my web portal and select a different featured article. And if I came back to that screen, it would actually pull up that new article instantaneously right then and there. So the Expert app is a content sharing platform that shares all types of content: videos, articles, audio files, podcasts, blog posts, journal lessons, resources, let's see, links to websites, featured videos, galleries, daily tips or posts. You can sync it up to Facebook and Instagram and all that sort of thing. But basically, any type of content that you would share online, in social media, in your website can be done inside of this app. And the way you organize that content is by topics or categories in the subtopics or subcategories that you want to go under that particular one. So it does everything as far as content is concerned. And all throughout it, video is very, very prominent. Live streaming is, you can take this Zoom call and embed it right here into the home screen, and people can watch it live right here in the home screen. The second thing that this app does is it's a membership technology built into it, very robust and completely customizable all the way down to a single person. So you can load content in here, one piece of content or an entire section, like half of these are actually all member content only. And this would not show up on your phone if you downloaded it now, unless I gave you an unlock code where you can unlock this and it would be available to you. So the way you can actually organize your content for groups of people, for some people that are paying you a monthly fee to get access to content, coaching clients, masterminds, events, all of that is completely customizable with the membership technology. You can even load content in here for an individual single person to see. That's how robust it is. It's all based off of tagging that you give and unlock codes that will unlock those tags for people. The other thing that it also has is a directory. So I can come in here and I can list out, my partners, my joint venture, collaborators that I'm working with, resources, websites, affiliate links, and that sort of thing. And I could build out entire profiles for them. And this is a great way to actually generate a lot of traffic to your app, is through collaborations and joint ventures that drives people to your app to get access to their content. So you joint venture with someone, you feature them in the app, they tell their tribe about that, and their tribe comes and downloads your app. Your list is building and you're having a great collaboration with people. So you can actually build out profiles for those individuals. You can have links to the, I don't have any videos in there right now, links to articles or videos that are specific to them. You can link to their website, which, by the way, doesn't open up a whole separate app. It opens up inside of your app, goes to that person's website, and then if they hit done, they're immediately back in your app. So it's really, really powerful. You can use this for virtual summits, or we call app summits. So you list out all the experts that are listed here. There are many, many different ways that you can use this directory. Then it has, and this is very exciting, a e-course technology built into it, completely customizable and 100% your own e-course e-learning center for you. So you could drop Thinkific and all these other things that you're maybe paying $100 to $150 for, because you could deliver a multi-module, multi-lesson e-course right here in your app. And your lessons can have an intro, a video for that lesson, an article or an audio file or a transcription, a journal lesson where you're asking them questions and they're typing in their answers and making it personal to them, and a Q&A section where you can answer questions, and even a resources section where you can have a bunch of questions or a bunch of resources for them to be able to download worksheets or to go buy this product or sign up for this program that relates to this particular lesson. And it's all within inside your app, and it has a drip system so that you could drip out content. So if you want to release module number 1 and one lesson a week, and then release module number 2 and one of those lessons a week there, you can actually do that inside of here automatically. So it's a full-on custom built e-course technology where you can offer unlimited number of courses, organize them under unlimited number of categories inside of your app. And people purchase these courses off of your website, not inside your app, because if they purchased it in your app and do an in-app purchasing, you'd have to give Apple and Android 30% of your sales. So we have worked around that to where people will go to your website, pay you for that there, and then they come here and they input a code to unlock that course that they just purchased, for example. And so that's really incredible, is the e-courses that's built into it. You got a gallery in here where you can sync up with Instagram, or you can use the gallery to deliver and ebooks that is like an e-reader inside of your book, inside of your app. So rather than doing Amazon where you don't get that client's information, where they buy your ebook and you have no idea who's buying your ebook, or they're getting your ebook for free, you can actually sell or give away your ebook here, give them an unlock code, and then they come here and they can actually read it right here inside of the app. It's not as sophisticated as the Kindle, obviously, but it's still a great option. And then you got the tips and posts section that can sync up to Facebook. So if you post something on Facebook, it will automatically come over here and post inside your app. And you got an event calendar where you have online events or in-person events. Hopefully, God willing, that will come here soon. People can learn about those events and actually click and sign up for those events. And then it has a very unique proprietary tracking system that's built into it. We've already kind of talked about this a little bit, where you can unlock content, unlock courses, but it's also able to take a physical or digital books and cards. Like you could take an ebook or a physical book, and you can turn them into viral marketing tools for you, to where a person reads the book, and inside the book, there's a tracking number that's specific to that single copy of that book. And if they input that tracking number in here, it'll actually take them to a community screen that is specific to that single copy of that book, where all the people that have read that book and then pass it on to the next person can come in here and basically post where they're from, their own message, and they can even communicate with each other, send each other messages through the app. So you can create these little mini communities or discussions around your book or around a particular message for the people that have touched that book or have gotten that PDF sent to them from one person to the next, which is a very, very powerful way of driving a lot of traffic to your app and building your list a lot faster. So we have a complete training and a technology and a viral marketing concept that is designed to bring people together in small communities, but also to virally market and drive a lot of traffic to download your app, all built in to the app technology here. So, and again, you could do live streaming through here. So this is the Expert app. And when we say that it's branded to you, basically when it has your brand, your logo, your color scheme, your content, you are 100% owner of the content of the brand in the app. We're not Facebook. We don't claim any rights to your hard work. And I can come over here and let's say I open up Spotlight Publishing. This is them using our platform with their brand, their color scheme, their content, and that sort of thing. So, so it is a very, very powerful platform for everything that we just talked about. It's got push notification technology built into it so that you can not only send out push notifications to everybody, but you can create segments. And those segments are based off of the unlock code. So if they input an unlock code, it'll put them on a separate list. So it's like having an email marketing software, but it's all done inside the push notifications. You can send out scheduled push notifications. You can send out push notification sequences. Like, they sign up and they activate that sequence and they get one notification now, and 3 days later they get another notification, and it basically does the same type of thing that a funnel will do, but all done in the app with 20 times to 50 times greater engagement. So that's what we've done. We've built this platform for experts to be able to leverage all the things that I was talking about earlier to solve this issue of quality and functionality for them. Now, ultimately, it comes back to this. What does it cost to have an app like that? Or specifically the Expert app? Are the competitors that we have that have dynamic platform apps with not as much as what we have, because we have very unique, very custom things that are built into our platform, will charge a upfront build fee and then a monthly fee for the life of the app. And usually that ranges from about $4,000 or $5,000 up front to $200, $300 to $500 a month for you to have your own app. When we built our app, we wanted to make sure that we weren't forcing people to be married to us forever in financially. So we're the only dynamic platform out there that of this high of quality. And by the way, the last quote that we got to build this platform from the ground up, because this is our 6.0 version in the last 4 years, was ranged from $180,000 to $220,000. So if you wanted to build this from the ground up and you went out and got quotes, that's exactly what you'll be getting quotes on. So we decided to be the only dynamic platform app out there that didn't charge a monthly fee, so that you weren't married to us forever, so that savings of not having to worry about all these other things that you have to pay for online because your app does it inside the app is real savings. Not like, well, I'm saving money here, but I'm now spending $300 a month here for my app. So the way our model works is this. We have two versions of our app. We have a base version and a pro version. The difference between the two is they're exactly the same exactly the same app, same technology. The difference is the base app has some of the features turned off so that you can add them in later and save money by getting your app launched sooner than later if you're not able to afford the pro version right now. And the pro version has all the features that I just showed you. The base version doesn't have the eCourse module, doesn't have the track-a-book system, but it has the tracking system for all the other things and cards and that sort of thing. It doesn't have the galleries, the gallery section, and it doesn't have the tips and posts section. So there's those four things the base version doesn't have. You can add those in and over time and ultimately have a pro version, or you can just do the full pro version. So here's what I'll tell you the pricing right now, and then I'll tell you if you're interested in one of two things. You can go and actually sign up and get the process started, or you can send me an email and we can have a conversation specifically about your business. But here's what we charge for our app. We charge a one-time licensing fee. The base app is $2,495, so $2,495, and you get $180,000 app technology. Then later on, if you want to add in the eCourse module, you can pay for that. You can get a discount right away. If you just want to add that in on top of the base module, we'll actually discount that eCourse module by 50%. Or you can go right to the Pro app. In the Pro app, if from this webinar, if you sign up from this webinar, the normal cost is $44.95, one-time licensing fee. But here you can get it for $39.95. So you save $500. If you upgrade the base app in pieces, it ultimately costs you closer to $5,000 in the end. So you save a lot of money going with the pro version right away. There are no monthly fees. There's no hosting. There's nothing that goes along with your app. The only thing that we charge is a yearly maintenance fee that starts 1 year from the time that you sign up to renew and recertify your app in Apple and Android app stores. And by the way, that price is for two different apps, iPhone and Android. So you're getting two software programs that you're using to launch, that you're launching in those two app stores. That price is also a done for you price, meaning that your only job in the process of you launching your app is to gather your content together and sign off on design and those things. We build it, load the app content for you initially, and we launch it on the App Store because you don't want to have to deal with that yourself. Trust me, because Apple's very difficult. We have that process dialed in. We actually launch it, get it live on the App Store, and then you take over from there. All of your content that you add into it is added in through a web portal. You don't have to do it through your phone. You just log into your web portal and add a video, add an article, go live on a live stream, whatever that you want to do. And so so our yearly maintenance fee is $199. That's the only additional cost from us. And the only other cost that you would have to launch your app, and this is true for anybody that does an app nowadays, is you have to have your own Apple developer account so that your app is in your own account, which is good anyway. And you have to have your own Google Play account. Apple is $99 a year, and Google Play for Android is $25 a year. So not a lot of extra cost. And the reason why that's good is that, let's say and the way we built our platform is that, let's say my company goes out of business, your app still is functional. Where if you had a template app that is running off of one single database, because our apps are separate databases. So if we went out of business, we could literally just, by a click a button, transfer that database over to you. You have full ownership of it. You pay a monthly fee for that database, and you won't lose your app. But if you had a template app and you're using that template app and that business went out of business and they were running all on the same database, all of those apps would become bricks. So you got to watch for that type of thing. So that's what our app technology is. You can do the base version or the pro version. And if this is something that you're interested in, I'll throw this up on the screen right now, and then we'll take questions. You can either go to the website, getmymobileapp.com, which will actually get you information about signing up for the base version. And if you want the pro version, then you can actually upgrade to that and save that money after you sign up for the base version. Just we simplify it. Just sign up for base first, Let's talk about whether or not the Pro app version makes sense for you, or you want one module that's there or two modules that's there, and then we can upgrade you, at any point down the road before we launch your app. If you want to actually have a conversation with me, then just email me, Robert@AppRoseDesign. Just say that you're on the webinar and you'd like to have a conversation with me about this. So I'll put this in the chat, and then let's take some questions. Nope, in the chat right there. And the website is mymobileapp.com. Cool. All right. I think what I could do here is, yes, I could take audio questions. So if you have a question, there's a way to raise your hand. If you go down to the bottom of the screen there, you can raise your hand, or you can type it into the chat. Yeah, go ahead and throw out any questions you may have. Any questions? I know that we got 1, 2, 3, 4 app owners that are on this call with us. So Henry, Howard, if you guys have any questions about app, just feel free to type it in or raise your hand and I'll unmute you. Okay. Well, I'm going to take that as a good sign that I did a good job explaining things to you guys. And of course, my email address, our website is there, Robert@AppRoseDesign. So if you have any questions, you want to have a one-on-one conversation, then just send me an email and I'd be happy to connect with you. But thank you for taking the time today. I went 8 minutes over, and I appreciate you hanging out with me a little bit longer. And everybody have a good day. And hopefully we'll be talking to you here pretty soon inside of our little community that we build with all of our app owners. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.